Guys, this video is brought to you by Charity Stars, who we have partnered with to give away the 707 horsepower super truck, the Ram TRX. The Ram TRX is the most ridiculous Tonka toy ever sold on American soil. With a Hellcat engine, Baja-inspired suspension, more tech than a 3-year-old Mercedes S-Class, and some of the most comfortable seats you'll ever squish your butt in anywhere. It's fabulous. The one behind me stickered at almost $98,000, making it the most expensive pickup truck I've ever seen. Charity Stars is a groundbreaking online platform that helps raise money for charitable causes in cool ways like this. So if you go to charitystars.com/smokingtire and use code SMOKINGTIRE at checkout, you will get 100 free entries on your purchase. All donations will benefit globalgiving.org, an amazing organization that connects corporations, donors, and recipients of charity in a beautiful way. And you can read more about it on the website. So go to charitystars.com/smokingtire. That's charitystars.com/smokingtire. Hit the link in the video description. Use code SMOKINGTIRE at checkout to get 100 free entries to get this ridiculous, almost 6-figure pickup truck dropped off at your crib. Now enjoy this video. Hey everybody! This might be familiar. It's the Gunther Werks Greenwich Commission, which is a bit of a misnomer. Commission implies someone has commissioned it.
Asked them to build it.
Incorrect, and this is not that. This is their production-ready development car, which so they own it for the time being. They've been updating it as they get better and better at building these Uber 993s. If you're just coming out of the woodwork, Gunther Werks is right up there with the Singer Company as being sort of the top end of selling these complete, reimagined, retro future analog builds for all the money.
Yeah, beyond customized, because they almost build the entire car themselves, with the exception of like a couple of panels and things, right?
Right. So what Singer does is they sort of take a highlight reel from all generations of air-cooled 911s, and they create sort of a reimagined 911 that's sort of the best of everything. Gunther says, well, what if Porsche never went water-cooled? What if we took the 993 and developed forward from that? What would that look like? And this is their result. They call it the 400R. It's available in a coupe. It will be available as a speedster later this year. This is my third go. Like I said, I drove their red prototype. I then drove this car in an earlier stage of development. Randy then took this car and ran a 130 at Laguna Seca, which is insane money. And then they've just redone their suspension. Now this car has the JRZ electronically adjustable through an app on a phone, electronically adjustable dampers. It has a new alignment. It has new camber plates. It has some other new suspension bits. And BBI, Tim from BBI Autosport was on our podcast. He uses these shocks in their Pikes Peak car.
Yeah.
And so now they've adapted them, so you now have this insane 993 with electronically controlled, adaptive, independent reservoir suspension.
It's amazing.
Right.
It's amazing the aftermarket can bring one of the best things about the production car market to the aftermarket.
Correct. And I thought, well, they've made these changes. We should definitely have a go. Zach's never had a go. He should try it. And what we're looking for here, which were my complaints with the last car, a very harsh ride, darty handling and tram lining, and instability under heavy braking. So we're looking to see if those improvements improve that car.
Wow.
So we've conveniently started right next to the tunnel. Gunther's got sport mode for the powertrain as well as for the suspension. The suspension we're going to start in comfort. Powertrain is in sport, which makes it loud. Tunnel, Zachary?
Yeah.
4-liter Rothsport, 435 horsepower, second gear from 4. Wow. That was 4 to 8. And now we're going to see, that was one of the best things about Gunther. We're going to go right to one of the worst. The turning radius.
Now we had 4 lanes right
Four
there.
lanes, still couldn't do it.
Good on the right, but only for about 10 seconds.
Still couldn't do it.
We had 4 lanes.
So let's do that again though. The good part, the tunnel part, right?
Yeah, let's do the tunnel part again.
This time I'll shift to third. I ran second right to the red line. Woo! Bang!
Whoa.
Second from 4. Whee! Probably blew it out on that one a little bit.
Yeah.
As I mention very regularly, air-cooled horsepower is some of the most expensive power that money can buy. And this is a Rothsport 4-liter, 435 horsepower, naturally aspirated, flat 6. Revs to 8, guys.
Wow, it sounds like a race car. It just sounds like a race car.
And if you've ever driven any production Porsche air-cooled car, and you then get in this, it takes about a third of a second to understand where that extra money went.
Oh, just the idle. When you start it, it's got a hot rod idle to it, but it sounds race car. It's so good.
Yeah, you've got, I mean, this engine, power-wise, it makes, you know, what a GT3 was making a few years ago. Water-cooled. Whoa! Then we've got Brembo GT brakes, 6-piston front, 4-piston rear, so we can haul it down, and monstrous tires. We're talking about, look at this turn in, 295s at the front. Those 295s, plus what the suspension was before, really contributed to the, oh my god, that was so direct.
That was a little quick. So front tires are wider than C8 Corvette's rear tires, right? Are they 285?
It might be. The rears are like 325s on this, but good news, they're Corsas. They're not like Cup 2s or something crazy sticky.
The rears are just actually one long tire. It's like a Tootsie Roll.
Yeah. Gearbox is a Getrag, excuse me, it's not a Getrag, what am I talking about? It's a G50, 6-speed, and whatever shifter they've used is very direct and smooth. The inputs are easy. As you know, Zach, go ahead.
How does it feel over the little bumps? Is it following the road?
It's better.
The way it did last time?
Definitely better. They have dialed out some of that tram lining.
Okay.
Now, I love this thing so much. The steering is so direct. So did you know that this car is within an inch overall width of the new GT3?
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, you look at it from the front, it's not hiding it at all. The front fenders look as wide as the rear fenders. So much front track width on this car.
I mean, it's really, and it because it only weighs 2,660 pounds, that power to weight puts it right on par with the modern GT3.
Wow.
And it revs to 8.
All with oil cooling. It's amazing.
It's a very efficient engine. I mean, in terms of heat management. Whoa!
And on the way up here, we had it in comfort mode, and it rode quite well.
Yeah.
I mean, it over the bumps and expansion joints in LA, it settled immediately. It didn't transmit very much shock through the seats. I was really, really impressed with it. It pulls hard.
Dude, it pulls so hard at the top of 4th. I mean, it's crazy fast.
Here, come on, Cam.
Oh, yeah, baby. I know where my dollars have gone. I know.
I mean, even looking around, though, like, I love that they formed the dash out of carbon, but it looks like they've done it, you know, the original cars with leather and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of contouring in the door panel as well that they could have left flat, you know, and then they still would have charged the money, but it looks beautiful, and it just has a lot more art to it than just simple flat carbon fiber. Woo.
Those are good good bangs. That's not a burble tune.
No,
that's a bang.
Yeah. And it's not just going, it's one pop that lets you know that what's coming through is special.
This suspension setup, comfort mode right here, this is how to drive this Canyon. The car is really well composed. It doesn't want to rip the steering wheel out of my hands, and when I stand on the brake, it stays straight. These are seriously good improvements.
That's very good. If the car is this fast, you don't want it to be, fidgeting around under heavy braking.
No.
You'll presumably be doing a lot of that. So did Randy set that record before all the improvements or after?
Before.
Wow. Oh man.
This is a good ass time. Zachary, what do you say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Have a go?
Yeah. I'm just listening to
you have to
wow.
there's not a lot of places. Huh?
Do a 5-point turn.
You have to do a 75-point turn here. And actually, in terms of practicality, you do have nose lift that does work. It's an aftermarket nose lift, but it works. I would say the worst thing about this car, straight up, is trying to park it. The turning radius is so bad, and it's so wide and so low that it's really clunky in parking lots. It's also got a single mass flywheel, so it's really revvy and light, and you got to keep the balance.
Right.
The engine has none of its own inertia, which is great if you want the thing to feel like a GT3. But if you're trying to daily it, it's what you'd call suboptimal.
Well, because you have to start your turn into that parking spot
Right.
2 other properties over.
Right. All right, now, your turn,
Oh, man.
sir. Zach
Okay.
Clapman has driven 3 air-cooled cars, including this one today.
Correct. And one of them was like an original 1973 that made 12 horsepower.
So I am going to use the phone to select sport mode.
Oh, you give me the bumpy one.
Well, we're going to experience it together. If you don't like it, I got the phone. I'll turn it off.
That is really cool tech.
All right. Revs, right? Yeah, it revs, yeah. And you're going to have to, just to get it going a little bit, you'll probably want to ride the clutch a little more than you might feel comfortable doing.
Okay.
Yeah, but you'll be fine.
Just figuring out the gates here.
Yep. And don't forget to rev it.
I'm going to get used to it for a second.
Yeah. Zach's going fully on the fly. I actually had intended to let Zach have a little warm-up go first, but you're going to get the total on the fly from Clapton. Right? Now you immediately...
Yeah, no,
that's where the 500 grand went, right?
You get it. This, I can't fake smile this much.
Because it's about the frequency of the vibrations that's coming into your hand.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're feeling like all the cylinders go through your hands.
Yeah.
The resonance that we're hearing, you actually feel in the wheel.
Yes.
Gee, how does it rev
Just sitting
so
at
easily?
6,000?
It feels like the engine weighs nothing.
It doesn't.
Whoa. And when you lift off, there's like, it barely slows down.
Right.
Because of that light flywheel and all the light components. Gee.
So when you think about the engine from my Safari was like 260 horsepower and like $35,000.
Yeah.
This engine is 435 horsepower. It's $200,000.
Jeez. $200,000 engine.
So you feel the dartiness a little bit there?
Yeah, I do. Yep.
So it's not completely gone, right? You got to keep 2 hands on the wheel.
Yeah, you do. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to be gentle with this thing. It's definitely, it's wiggling around a little bit. But
It's better than it was. Oh, we're in sport.
We're in sport.
You want me to get out of this?
Yeah, let's see what the difference is. Whoa, we're moving.
Yeah, we're definitely moving around a lot more.
Yeah.
All right, I just hit it back to comfort.
Okay.
Oh.
Market difference.
Oh. Why is there a sport mode?
Well,
sport mode's not good. Comfort is good.
Well, if you're on a track,
I guess.
That's perfectly level.
I guess, yeah.
That makes sense. Whoa!
Now brake hard.
All right, braking hard, straight line.
Okay.
Handled that
so
bump well.
Yeah, it did.
Wow. Wow, it revs up easily.
Downshifts are fun.
Wow.
These seats really hold you in really nice.
They do. They really really do. They're not super comfortable for a long drive, but they look like art. And you know, you're not driving this a really long distance. Wow!
Isn't it awesome?
Oh my God! It's so easy to downshift. I was expecting to bobble that a bunch, but it just lands where you want it to. Steering is very, very quick. I think I've moved it like 5 degrees to make this turn.
So you almost in the canyon, you never had to turn the wheel more than like a 45.
Oh yeah! Wow. It does move around a little bit in the hands, but you know it's 295 fronts. It's good. That's what it's gonna do.
I tried to get them to go down to like 265 fronts. They didn't want to do it.
Yeah, they're like, we're trying to win the Laguna Seca. You know.
They didn't want to do it. They said they were going to find a way to make the suspension fix that without having to go to a smaller front tire.
Dude, I mean, it pulls just as hard from 6 to 7 as it does 7 to 8, vice versa.
The to go flat in third and then rip fourth in this car is extremely satisfying.
I've never experienced an engine with so little resistance as it gets toward redline.
Right.
Wow.
It has, you know, some engines feel like they resist themselves.
Yeah.
This does not.
I mean, I'm not anywhere
you
near.
are fucking mommy.
No, I feel I feel a lot less comfortable in this than I do in like, you know, new M3 comp, just because this is so expensive.
Well, it's hard to look past that, and it's hard to look. You know, you've got no nannies, right? It doesn't have any traction control or anything. I'm guessing it has ABS.
Oh, the shifter is great. Finding the gears is so easy. Oh man.
We should go right. But it's you know, it's so light. Everything about it feels light, except the steering, which feels heavy.
True.
Isn't it interesting? So it actually has power steering. You know that?
It feels like it does.
It has an electric power steering system that's mounted in the front, and that's to distribute weight better.
Okay.
And it's actually from the 993 GT2.
They
used it.
They had electric power steering all the way back then?
They did.
Wow.
For motorsport.
So this road is a little smoother than that than the other one, and you can tell. I mean, the steering wheel now is just staying wherever I place it.
Comfort mode is where it's at, though.
It is, but I think like from the camera's probably not gonna be able to show the difference in the road texture, but you can see how little the steering wheel is moving.
It's addictive, isn't it?
It's really addictive.
It's really addictive.
Really addictive.
The turn in is amazing.
Yeah. Everything it's doing just feels, I don't know, natural. It's not the best descriptor, but it feels happy to do all of these things.
Right. Well, it's well connected to your brain. Brain, hands, feet, car. You know, that connection is very, very well made here.
Yeah.
You got to work. It doesn't just give it to you.
But that's what you want.
Right.
You know, that's what you want.
Right.
Especially today. I have no words. I'm just driving and thinking and worried about lift off oversteer. But there's so much grip. Yeah, I'm not anywhere near that. Wow!
Ripping 3.4 is what's up. That's the nice. Oh, I forgot. I didn't even mention it. It's got a closer ratio gearbox.
Oh.
They changed the gearing.
Okay.
I forgot. They did. They since the last time I drove it, because the engine's got so many revs.
Yeah.
You know, when it's got this much revs, you can get to top speed in top gear, right? It doesn't matter even if it is a little bit of an overdrive. You can still do it, right? So they shorten the gearbox to make it more fun in the canyons, a la Bugatti Pure Sport.
Because you don't need the taller gears. I mean, this goes plenty fast.
No, if you could do the whole road in just third, instead of needing some fourth, you'd be having less fun.
Yep. Jeez. Wow.
It's the best car ever, right?
Wow. Every little bit of me is kind of tingling. Every bit, man.
Every bit.
It's
I am
really
actually
great.
erect
It's
right now.
really great.
It's the best thing ever because you understand the mission. It took the end of the air-cooled, cranked it up, and brought in modern manufacturing, modern technology, and what we can do with an air-cooled engine today if money is no object.
And they also probably looked at how the 991, 992, like the sizes of those cars, and they said, okay, people are fine with really, really wide Porsches. Here's what you can do. Here's where you can get the handling. So take the best of that and the best of the air-cooled stuff and throw money at it like a NASA program, and then you end up with this.
Yeah.
All right, over here.
Oh, we're here. This is the spot. This is every time that Peter and the guys at Gunther asked me to have a go and let them know what we think about the changes they've made. The changes have been. Did you hit the button there? On the left, we have nose lift. Yep, it's going
blinking.
up. Yep, blinking, going up, and it should stop blinking when it's up.
Great tech.
We're up. Boom.
That's great.
Every time they ask us to go out and have a go, it's always a real treat.
Wow. Yes.
And I'm glad you got to try it for the first time.
And I know that some people watching are going to go 500 horsepower, or sorry, 425 for this much money. You could get that out of an LS for like $12. But there is you feel the difference. There is a very big difference between the power delivery and how the engine feels like in response.
You're not buying the power. You're buying the feel at that point. I mean, at this point, 400 horsepower is very easily accessible. That's not what you're buying. It's the fact that it's in a 2,600 pound rear engine, package that's been completely thought out.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to buy a fucking Porsche, put a junkyard LS in the back of it, knock yourself out. It'd probably be fun. Mm-hmm. But that's not what we're doing.
No.
So thanks to Gunther for letting me have a third go. Zach having his first go. Thanks to you guys for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye. And remember, always fight your tickets. Use code TST10 on the Off the Record app available in the Android and iOS store, or go to offtherecord.com/TST.